This is an overview of how to use the tenure file as a committee member. So once you're enrolled, you'll see it in your dashboard, and all you have to do is click on it to access it. Now, the tenure file is connected to a blueprint, and you are also a student in it. And so you won't be able to edit anything, but you will see certain things. So the first time you get into it, you'll need to do the instructions review quiz. And once you complete that, and there's a little green check next to it, you'll be able to access and click on any of the other modules within the course. So you have to do that first, and that just tells you how to navigate and how to and that just shows you how to communicate about tenure and what not to do with the files in this class. So then we move on to information about the probationer or the tenure track faculty member. And then right here you have your committee information, and here's where all of the members of the committee will be listed and what their roles are, and then resources for you as a committee that you can review. Now, the rest of the course is set up by year. So we have year 1, year 2, and year 3. And each of these is set up as the binder would be. So you have the quarter, you have the observations, evaluations, meeting minutes, etc. listed. And for each one, there's a description and instructions, and that's pulled directly from the contract. And then those particular documents are directly below the description and instructions. So that's observations are right below it, and so on and so forth. So you can review these as needed, but that is all you can do, is just review. So how do you communicate as a tenure committee? Well, we're going to scroll all the way up, and there's a couple of ways to get to this, and it's called a group within Canvas. The first thing you can do is over on the right hand side, there's going to be course groups listed, and you can click directly on that tenure committee group, and it will take you to the homepage of the group within this tenure file course. The other way you can get to it is on the left hand side. Once you're in a group, you will see groups listed here on the left, and when you click on it, you will be able to see the groups, and you can click directly on the tenure committee. Those two links do the exact same thing. They take you to the home page of the committee group. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And here we are. So depending on how your chair wants to use this group for communication, it may be very different from this, or may be very similar. But I will give you a rundown of basically what each thing is, just in case you need to use it. So first we have homepage. This just has the most recent things that you can see is going on. Next is announcements. Unfortunately, announcements within groups do not give you an alert. So you'll want to check this regularly if your committee chair is using it. And you can actually create announcements yourself as well. So you could click on this plus announcement over here on the right hand side, type in your title, put in your, maybe you're the secretary and you're setting up the meeting, you could announce it this way. There are other ways as well. And then just save. And then that is added to the announcements. And here you actually cannot reply to other people's announcements, unfortunately, but you can reply to your own. I generally discourage using announcements in groups, as there are other tools that work better. So under pages, here's where there will be how we'll use this group for the tenure committee that the chair will fill out. So when you click on that, it'll list specific things that you'll be using within the group, and it may just be the first one. So that's the main thing that you'll need to know how to do, is how to share documents with the tenure group as well as the chair for final load into the tenure file. You can also create pages, so if you have a review and you want everyone to be able to review something and add comments, you can create a page and or just edit the page and leave comments. And then just save, and this acts as like a wiki page where everyone can be editing and commenting, and then if you need to go back, you can view the page history and see any changes that have been made there. So you can create pages, you can edit pages, and then people just shows you who is in the group and who's the teacher, and then in the discussions area you'll have discussions that are available. Committee discussion will be the only one that is there by default, and this gives you instructions on how to create, and this gives you instructions on how to create additional discussion boards within the group, as well as how to reply to a discussion that's already created. So you can create additional ones if you want to have discussions, if you want to. This works much better for reviewing things and then commenting on them. Files is the most important one you'll need to know. So here you see there's some files here. There may be folders if your chair decides to create folders for things. And all you need to do is click on Upload over here on the right hand side. And then you'll find the document that you need to give to the committee or the chair and upload it, and then there it is, and they all can access it. The final two I'll go over briefly, but you most likely will not use them. The conference tool is a web conferencing tool that's within Canvas. It's run by Big Blue Button, similar to Zoom and Teams. And the last is collaborations. This is pulling in Google documents to kind of have a group work on it within Canvas, and I highly discourage this as well, since we want to keep things within Microsoft within this class, particularly for tenure. All right, that is all. That's a brief overview of how to use the tenure file as a committee member.